Hey guys, so welcome back. So today in this video we're going to talk about the branches of the abdominal aorta. So we are going to talk about the three main branches of the abdominal aorta. The first one is the celiac trunk, the second one is the superior mesenteric artery, and the third one is the inferior mesenteric artery. And those three branches have their subdivision arteries as well. And we're going to talk about each and every one of them. So okay. Let us get started with the celiac trunk first. So the branches of the celiac trunk, okay, you need to remember this thing very importantly. The branches of the celiac trunk, mainly we have three branches. The first one is the left gastric artery. I'll show it later. And the second one is the splenic artery, and the third one is the common hepatic artery. So okay, let us get into this anatomy 3D. Okay, so this is actually the left gastric artery. Okay, this is actually the left gastric artery, and this left gastric artery have another branch that is going up to the esophagus, that is also known as the esophageal branches of the left gastric artery, and this one is actually pointing towards this side. Okay, as you can see here, it is actually a branch of the left gastric. This is left gastric artery, and this one is the esophageal branches. So left gastric artery is actually the first branch of the celiac trunk. So as you can see here, this is actually the celiac trunk. Okay, the first branch is the left gastric artery. The second branch of the celiac trunk is this, the highlighted one, which is actually the splenic artery. Splenic artery is best to view from the from the posterior view. So this is actually the whole thing that is highlighted is actually the splenic artery. And this splenic artery is actually giving on giving two other branches. That is, the first one is actually the short gastric artery, which is this one, this highlighted one, and the second one is also the second one is actually the left gastroepiploid artery, also known as the left gastroomental artery. Okay, and this left gastroomental artery or left gastroepiploid artery will always do anastomosis or connection at this place with the right side of the gastroepiploid or the gastroomental artery. This is the right side. Okay, so but then the right side is other branch. It's not part of the celiac. It's not part of the celiac. Sorry, it's not part of the splenic artery. Okay, so that's all for this. That's all for the splenic artery. Splenic artery gives on two branches. Left gastric gives on one branches, that is left esophageal branches. Splenic artery gives on two branches, that is left gastroepiploid artery as well as short gastric arteries. Now we will go on to the third branch of the celiac trunk, that is the common hepatic artery. So this is actually the common This is actually the common hepatic artery, the highlighted one. And this common hepatic artery will give on three more branches. Okay, the first one is this one, proper hepatic. Okay, the one that is going to the liver, or hepatic artery proper. The second one is gastroduodenal artery. Okay, this is gastroduodenal artery. And the third one is the right gastric. Okay, as you can see here, the right gastric is actually being a part of the proper hepatic. Okay, it is actually being part of the proper hepatic. So this right gastric will actually be supplying this part of the stomach. Okay, will actually be supplying this part of the stomach, and as you can see here, it is actually forming an anastomosis with the left gastric artery. Okay, so this is actually the left gastric artery, and this is actually the right gastric. Okay, this is actually the right gastric artery, and both of them are actually forming anastomosis or connection at this point, same as the gastroepiploid arteries also. Both left and right will actually form the anastomosis at this side. Okay, so that is the those are the three branches of the common hepatic. Okay, common hepatic gives rise to first proper hepatic, second gastroduodenal, and third right gastric. Okay, this is proper hepatic, gastroduodenal, as well as right gastric. Okay, proper hepatic gives on a few more branches. The first one is the cystic artery. Okay, the first one is the cystic artery. Okay, this is the cystic. Why is the cystic? Why is it not coming? Okay, this is the cystic artery, which is actually going to supply a gallbladder, and the second one is the right and left branches of the proper hepatic, which is going to supply inside the liver. So this is just this one, this white color, why is not getting highlighted? Okay, this is just the right branch. There's another called the left branch, and this is actually going to supply inside the liver. Okay, so those are the branches of the proper hepatic. So branches of the proper hepatic is cystic artery as well as the right and left branches of the proper hepatic. So that is for proper hepatic branch of the common hepatic. The second one that we're going to look into is the gastroduodenal artery. So gastroduodenal artery will actually give rise to two branches. Best to view from this side. I can't really get, okay, gastroduodenal. I can't really get a good view of this. Okay, this is actually the gastroduodenal. Let me highlight first, then it's easier. Okay, this is actually the gastroduodenal, and this gastroduodenal will actually give rise to the gastroepiploic, the right side of the right side of the gastroepiploic artery. This is the right side of the gastroepiploic artery. Okay, the one that I have highlighted here, and as you can see here, okay, and this right gastroepiploic artery is going to form the anastomosis with the left gastroepiploic artery. So remember, the right gastroepiploic artery is going to be part of the gastroduodenal artery, and the second branch of this gastroduodenal artery is this one, the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Okay, so okay, this is gastroduodenal artery, and both these are superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, but okay, they are going to supply part of the pancreas as well as the duodenum. So this is actually the pancreas, and this superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, they have two sides. Okay, that is the part of the anterior as well as the posterior. This is behind the pancreas, so it is going to be the posterior part of the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, and this is the anterior side of the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Later on, as a branch of the superior mesenteric artery, we are going to have the inferior part of the pancreatico-duodenal artery, and that inferior part is also going to have this anterior and posterior, and those anterior and posterior will combine with the anterior and posterior of the superior part in order to form a complete superior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Okay, so on this section, that is the part of the gastroduodenal artery, that is a branch of the gastroduodenal artery, is we are going to look into the superior part of the superior part of the pancreatico-duodenal artery only, and this is actually the posterior part of the superior, and this is actually the anterior part of the superior. Okay, as you can see here, the highlight stops at this point, so this means only at this point it is called as the superior, and this part is this part onwards it is called the inferior part, and it is going to be part of the superior mesenteric artery. Later on I'll talk about the superior mesenteric, the branches of the superior mesenteric arteries. Okay, so that's all for the branches of the common hepatic. That is, the first one is proper hepatic, the second one is a gastroduodenal, which is going to be which gives rise to right gastroepiploic as well as superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, both anterior and posterior side, and the third one is going to be the right gastric artery, which is somewhat a part of the proper hepatic. Okay, it is somewhat part of the proper hepatic. Okay, now we are going to talk about the branches of the superior mesenteric arteries. Okay, so so this is actually the superior mesenteric artery. So we can go and see where is it giving rise to. So this is superior mesenteric artery, and superior mesenteric artery will actually give rise to 5 different branches. That is, first one is inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, second is middle colic, third is right colic, fourth is ileocolic, and Fifth is ileal and jejunal arteries, also known as the intestinal arteries. Okay, so we're gonna look into where are those things located. So the first one that we're gonna look into is the inferior part of the the inferior part of the pancreaticoduodenal artery. So this is actually the superior mesenteric artery, and this one is the inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery, and which is actually going to be giving rise into the posterior side. This is the posterior side, and there is also another thing on the anterior side. Okay, this is actually the anterior side. Oh, it's not getting highlighted. Okay, this is the anterior branch of the inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery. So same as for the superior pancreaticoduodenal artery, they are having the same thing, that is the both anterior and posterior branches too. So that is the first branch of the superior mesenteric artery. The second one is the middle colic, which is going to be attached to this one. It's going to be attached to the transverse colon. Okay, so this is actually the middle colic artery, and the third one is actually the right colic artery. This is also known as the right colic, and this is ileocolic. This is ileal arteries. The third one. We have talked about inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery, middle colic, right colic, and this one is ileal arteries, and jejunal arteries is this side. Ileal and jejunal are also known as intestinal arteries. They are considered as one branch of superior mesenteric artery. So now we have 4 already, and the fifth one is also known as the where is the ileal arteries? This is ileocolic artery. Okay, this is ileal arteries. Okay, this is ileal arteries, and this one is jejunal arteries. With both ileal and jejunal arteries will actually make up the intestinal arteries, as I have mentioned before. And this one is the ileocolic artery, which is another artery. So the 5 branches that is made up by the superior mesenteric artery is the inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery, middle colic, right colic, ileocolic, as well as intestinal arteries, which are the ileal arteries as well as the jejunal arteries. And finally, we can move on to the inferior mesenteric arteries, and inferior mesenteric arteries is this one. Okay, this one is the inferior mesenteric artery, and the first branch is the left colic artery, which is this one, and the second one is the sigmoid branch, which is going to be this side. Okay, this one is the sigmoid arteries. Okay, which is actually supplying the S part of the big colon, the S part of the large intestine or the colon. And the third branch of the inferior mesenteric artery is going to be the superior rectal artery. Okay, this is actually the superior rectal artery, which is going to supply the superior rectal part of because rectum we have a few parts, and this superior rectal artery is going to supply the superior rectal part of the rectum. Okay, so that's all for this video. Yeah, so those are the things that I wanted to mention, and few things more. The superior part of the pancreaticoduodenal artery, they supply the head of the pancreas. Okay, and whereas for the inferior part of the pancreaticoduodenal artery, they are going to be supplying the duodenum as well as the unseen process. Okay, so those are the additional things that I want to add on. A few other things that I want to add on is the fundus of the stomach. That part of the stomach is actually going to be supplied by the short gastric as well as the posterior gastric arteries. Okay, and both these things are actually those branches that actually comes from the splenic artery. So okay, yeah, I think that's all for this video. If there is anything else, I'll try to put on as an annotation in this video. So thank you guys. Meet you guys in the next video. Thank you.